Listen, here it is. Technically, I never quit. I'm 7 years late for work.
As a result of his recent arrest, Sean Diddy Combs is currently facing a wide variety of difficulties. Dave Chappelle has been candid about the attempts made by those in positions of power to coerce him into compromising his values and complying with their agenda. In the aftermath of Diddy's arrest, it has been asserted that Chappelle had been discussing Diddy from the beginning. If you want to learn more about how Dave Chappelle has recently exposed Diddy, as well as how Chappelle's persistent pokes at Diddy's fashion line might be the reason why he vanished in 2005, you can watch this video. Chappelle's disappearance and comeback. The fact that Chappelle is considered to be one of the best stand-up comedians in the history of art cannot be refuted. Over the course of the past several years, he has been involved in a number of different scandals and has been characterized by the general public in a variety of different ways. Dave was even labeled as a transphobe at one time over his life. There is, however, one fact about Chappelle that cannot be disputed, and that is the reality that his fame stretches well beyond the borders of the United States. Because he has toured a great number of countries and played at performances that were completely sold out, he is a global icon who is known and revered all over the world. Chappelle has recently made a statement regarding a matter that has the potential to get Sean Diddy Combs into even more trouble. This statement comes after the arrest of Diddy Combs. You would be mistaken if you thought that Chappelle and Diddy had a strong friendship throughout their lives. In point of fact, there are allegations that say Dave has been harboring anger toward Sean Diddy Combs for a considerable amount of time. The ill blood that exists between the two parties is said to have begun at the beginning of the 21st century, according to these words of gossip. To be more specific, this conflict started somewhere between the early and middle of the 2000s. There is a good chance that viewers of Comedy Central are familiar with Chappelle's show, which was broadcast prior to other well-known comedy shows such as The Kroll Show, Key and Peele, and Inside Amy Schumer. At the beginning of the 21st century, Chappelle's innovative program cemented his position as the undisputed king of the comedy world. Everyone enjoyed his stand-up routines, and it is reasonable to say that he was considered to be one of the most talented comedians of that era. As a matter of fact, a great number of individuals were adamant in their conviction that Chappelle was the sole stand-up comedian of his day. Nevertheless, in April of 2005, a surprising event took place that caused the comedy world to be in a state of disbelief. In a sudden and unexpected move, Dave decided to withdraw from the third season of his immensely popular show, Chappelle's Show. Fans were left wondering why such a legendary comic would leave the industry at the pinnacle of his career, just when his star was continuing to climb. They were left scratching their heads. Initially, Chappelle did not make any statements and did not provide any reason for his decision to leave the stand-up comedy industry. On the other hand, more time passed before he ultimately broke his silence and disclosed the truth. When David Letterman was conducting an interview with Dave Chappelle, the presenter made an effort to persuade Chappelle to discuss his unexpected retirement from the public eye. At the beginning of the show, Chappelle made an effort to avoid answering Letterman's in-depth queries by providing humorous responses rather than direct answers. Eventually, however, he started to provide additional insight into the decision that had startled fans, as well as those working in the entertainment sector respectively. The first thing that Dave said in answer was, "I'm literally 7 years late to work." His response seemed to be a joke to me. At the time, it was humorous, and it continues to be humorous even now. On the other hand, Dave ultimately returned to the issue and provided a response that was more serious. This is an interesting development. David Letterman conducted an interview with Dave Chappelle, during which Chappelle discussed his choice to fly to South Africa. Apparently, he made the decision to go there in order to conceal himself from the unrelenting coverage that was being provided by the press. In addition to that, he also mentioned the fact that he declined a deal worth $50 million since he refused to accept it. Dave stated that he did, in fact, feel regret about the decision he made to decline the $50 million offer before leaving the United States. The information that he disclosed was that he had around $10 million in his bank account at the time that he left for South Africa. Chappelle was able to transmit the impression of a man who does not dwell on past actions with any degree of lasting regret. despite the fact that he said that he had second thoughts about walking away from such a massive sum of money. During the course of the discussion with Letterman, it becomes abundantly evident that Chappelle is the kind of person who has a very small number of regrets, and not just a few regrets. The situation is more akin to a few mild regrets. It is one of the most notable features of the talk that he never once expressed any regret about stepping out of the public spotlight. He never once expressed any regret about it. Chappelle continues to elaborate on how straightforward and uncomplicated his life has become by noting, "I go home and make the kids some integrity sandwiches." This is one of the statements that he makes during the conversation. It is completely illogical to do so. In my life, there are other things that I do not buy with money that are really valuable. These things exist in my life. According to what Chappelle said, it appeared as though he left a prominent career in order to devote more time to spending time with his family. Many people at the time believed that he was being sincere when he said it. However, as a result of the recent arrest of Sean Diddy Combs, talks have been resurrected, and some people are now of the opinion that Chappelle may have been concealing something during that interview. In just a moment, we will go into the possibility that Chappelle hid anything during his interview with David Letterman. However, before we get to it, we need to take a look at an interview that Chappelle gave to Oprah Winfrey in the year 2006. When Chappelle made the decision to leave his program, he did not inform anyone in advance of his decision. It was said that even his wife and children were ignorant of his location, according to the rumors that circulated. In the first 2 seasons of the program, Chappelle had already established himself as a household star. The show had its debut in 2003 and received widespread critical praise. The fans enjoyed quoting his phrases, particularly his well-known impersonation of Rick James, a legendary figure in the world of funk music. The actual presentation was not without its share of controversy, particularly in relation to the subject matter that it covered. Despite this, it was nevertheless able to achieve the greatest rating of any program that Comedy Central has ever broadcast. Because of its unprecedented level of success, it was nominated for 3 Emmys. As a result of his unexpected and unplanned departure from the show, gossip went into overdrive. Chappelle became the subject of a great number of rumors, which caused him to become the discussion of the town. As a result of the hype surrounding his abduction, publications such as Time and Newsweek covered the investigation. A number of stories circulated that Chappelle had either lost his mind or begun abusing substances. On top of that, there were allegations that he had been placed in an institution. These, however, were nothing more than rumors. A trip to South Africa was indeed something that Chappelle had done. A year after his disappearance, Chappelle made a surprise cameo on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and the entire world was taken aback the moment he was seen again. Chappelle gave the following response to Oprah's question on why he had abruptly left for South Africa. They made it sound like it was so mysterious. In his conversation with Oprah, he mentioned that when he first began the show, he did not have enough money, due to the fact that he was in charge of the creative process. In addition to that, he mentioned that at first glance, the show did not appear to be profitable. After I arrived at Comedy Central, Dave told me that it wasn't like it was a particularly exciting place to be. During the midst of the first season, he brought attention to the fact that this was the time when his issues started. In reference to the activities that were taking place behind the scenes, Dave shared with Oprah that a chain of occurrences and a little bit of pressure ultimately led to my settling for something that was significantly less than what I wanted. Thereafter, during the second season, the DVD is made available, and it establishes a number of remarkable records. Now, all of a sudden, this is a more lucrative endeavor than they had anticipated. Despite the fact that it is a completely new source of revenue, it is already profitable. In addition, my contract has expired. After Sean Diddy Combs was taken into custody, the video of Dave Chappelle's appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show once again became available to the public. The fact that Diddy was already a well-known figure in the business at the time that Dave vanished from the public eye is a major contributor to the resurgence of interest in the subject matter. But what is the relationship between these two figures? This intriguing connection between Chappelle and Sean Diddy Combs is something that we should investigate. Why is Diddy responsible for Chappelle's disappearance? Following the arrest of Diddy on September 16, 2024, the interview that took place between Oprah and Chappelle was brought back to light, which rekindled conversations on the internet. In 2005, some started to speculate that Diddy might have been involved in Chappelle's disappearance, which was described as being unexplained. In accordance with the rumors that are currently going around, Sean Combs was a member of a group that participated in the process of renegotiating the contract that Chappelle had with Comedy Central. Puff Daddy is also said to have been working behind the scenes to get things done in his own way, according to the allegations. It was impossible to deny the impact that Diddy had at that time. When we think back to those times, we must not forget that Sean Combs, better known by his stage name P. Diddy, wielded such a great deal of influence that he was even able to secure the imprisonment of a few of his closest pals. Diddy is said to have induced witnesses to testify against him in the case of Jamal Shine Barrow, which is a major example of his role in the case. Due to the fact that it dates back to the 1990s, Diddy's history of problematic conduct extends far beyond the span of contemporary years. The rumors that Diddy was involved in Chappelle's disappearance are given some credence by the heritage of misdeeds that have been passed down through the generations. Some notable individuals, such as Chappelle and the comic Cat Williams, have made it known that they have a negative opinion of Diddy. There have been several instances in which both comedians have demonstrated their lack of interest in the music tycoon, which has contributed to the spread of accusations that Diddy was involved in Chappelle's unexpected disappearance. There are also reports that imply Sean Combs attempted to compromise Chappelle's ideals. It is common knowledge that Diddy is a master manipulator, and the fact that he was recently subjected to a court case only serves to confirm this view. It was stated by the prosecution that if Diddy were to be allowed to manage his case while he was out of detention, he would have the ability to interfere with the investigations that are currently being conducted. The manipulative habits of Diddy have also been brought to light in other cases, one example of which is the case of his ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, who is also known by her nickname, Cassie. In the complaint that she filed against Diddy, Cassie accused him of being violent and manipulative throughout the entirety of their relationship. During the year 2016, a video leaked that showed Diddy assaulting his fiancée, which further revealed the aggressive personality of the individual. The fact that Diddy is capable of committing such extreme acts of violence against a romantic partner raises questions about the extent to which he is able to violate other people. People suspect that he might have been involved in Chappelle's disappearance for a number of reasons, and this is exactly one of them. Chappelle revealed persons who were attempting to tamper with his Comedy Central contract during his interview with Oprah. As a result, many people have come to the conclusion that Diddy may have been one of those individuals. There is a history of Diddy allegedly forcing his way into the lives of numerous celebrities, and if you look into some of the videos and tales that have once again leaked online, you will realize that this trend exists. Within the context of a video that was distributed by Jaguar Wright, for instance, it was stated that Diddy had made an effort to impose his will on Justin Bieber. Fans of Chappelle have become convinced that Diddy is responsible for his disappearance as a result of stories such as these. It is well known that Diddy is known for persistently chasing whatever it is that he desires. It has been alleged that Diddy's strategies have gone to exceptional extremes during the course of his career. It has been said that he compelled the renowned B.I.G. to continue working at Bad Boy Records, that he compelled Usher to remain in close proximity to him, and that he even forced Kim Porter to continue working alongside him. The aforementioned examples are just a handful of the many instances in which Diddy's manipulative strategies have been brought to light. Despite the fact that there is no concrete evidence to support the claim that Diddy was involved in Chappelle's disappearance, it is essential to acknowledge that individuals who are circulating the allegations are merely seeking to draw conclusions from an event that took place a significant amount of time ago. Irrespective of whether they are correct or incorrect, the trustworthiness of their sources and the authenticity of their assertions will determine the outcome. People have been questioning the potential of Diddy's involvement for a number of reasons, one of which is that Chappelle frequently made jokes about Sean Combs' fashion line, which is called Sean John. Chappelle used to make fun of Sean John's popular line of sweatsuits and other clothing items on his show, Chappelle's Show, which is broadcast on Comedy Central. Sean John manufactured a line of sweatsuits and other clothing things. It has been suggested that Diddy was dissatisfied with Chappelle's mockery of his brand, and it is possible that this was the impetus for his search for a means to either silence or eliminate Chappelle. Chappelle has never stopped making fun of Diddy, and his humorous barbs have become a defining characteristic of his routine throughout the years. Furthermore, in the year 2021, Chappelle made an unexpected visit on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show, expressly to make fun of Diddy's fashion line. This appearance took place during Michael Che's interview. The fact that this incident took place almost 20 years after Chappelle had first started making fun of Diddy is illustrative of the fact that their comedy competition has been going on for a very long time. Dave is clearly still harboring some resentment for Diddy, as is evident from the conversation, to the point where he would stop the interview of another individual in order to take a shot at the music mogul. In the course of his conversation with Jimmy Kimmel, Che stated that he was getting close to celebrating his birthday. Additionally, he mentioned that his close friend Colin Jost was going to be celebrating his birthday in the near future. In the following sentence, she went on to explain that because their birthdays are so close together, they intend to give each other peculiar presents. Chappelle has always taken pleasure in making light of Diddy's fashion line, and this humorous criticism extends beyond his own show to include a famous bit that makes fun of the reality series Making the Band. People have been talking and circulating accusations that Diddy was the source of all of these troubles when Dave claimed that there were issues behind the scenes that led to his sudden withdrawal. This is because of the continual barbs that have been going on. There have been a lot of stories that have been making news ever since Diddy got himself into some trouble. In addition, a few of his secrets were revealed to the universe. Therefore, what exactly are some of these stories that are so captivating? Diddy's dirty secrets. Given that Diddy was taken into custody on September 16, 2024, he has been making efforts to secure bail. On the other hand, the court has previously turned down his requests on 2 consecutive occasions. After the prosecution showed alarming text messages in court that the music mogul had written to his ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, this denial came about as a result of the prosecution's presentation. The fact that Diddy suggested a huge sum of $50 million as a bond at his second appearance in court demonstrates how desperate he is to get out of the notorious Metropolitan Detention Center. Within the presence of District Court Judge Andrew Carter, his legal representatives contended that the rapper did not present any danger to the general public. In spite of this, Judge Andrew Carter ultimately decided to dismiss their application, claiming that there was no condition or group of restrictions that would guarantee the safety of the community or that he would not communicate with witnesses. Text conversations that were allegedly sent by the 54-year-old artist to his ex-girlfriend were made public by the prosecutors as they worked to ensure that he would continue to be incarcerated. In the messages that Diddy sent to Cassie, he said things like, "Call me, the police are here, I have 6 children, please call, I'm surrounded, are you going to abandon me all by myself?" Additionally, the prosecutor's efforts did not come to rest there. Emily Johnson, one of the prosecutors, took advantage of the chance to read out loud a few of the text messages that were sent by other individuals who are believed to have been victims of the rapper. While the hearings were taking place, Emily read a text message that was sent by one of the alleged victims of Diddy. The message stated that Diddy had pulled her down a corridor by her hair's length. It was disclosed in the text message that you are continuously trying to demonstrate to me that you are powerful and you are constantly tormenting me. I am not a rag doll. Rather, I am the child of someone. Emily Johnson said that she was still not satisfied with the revelations after she had completed reading this message. Her next step was to read a separate message that had been sent by a different victim. During this message, the alleged victim made it clear to Diddy that she had been going through a traumatic experience ever since he took advantage of her. In this particular communication, a reference was made to a certain piece of another case that had been brought against the music mogul, who was 54 years old. It makes me sick to my stomach that the text message that was sent indicated exactly how my experiences and my misery are described word for word in 3 solid pages. On the occasion of that court appearance, Emily Johnson made certain that she gathered every single piece of proof that may be utilized to identify and apprehend him. Emily, who was investigating the case of Cassie, stated that Diddy had been assaulting her for a number of years. In addition to assaulting her, he was also known to control every aspect of her life during that time. Not only that, but she was also coerced into having sexual relations with other guys. During the year 2018, it was said that Diddy broke into Cassie's home and forced himself on her. This occurred when Cassie was attempting to end her relationship with Sean Combs. Even after he had produced a video before apologizing to the singer, the 54-year-old rapper contested the charges in court, despite the fact that videotape of Diddy's attack on Cassie was available online. The prosecutor was able to determine from the text exchanges that Diddy is, in fact, a danger to the community, and that he has concealed a great deal of information that is quite dark. There was also another video of Diddy that was discovered again, which led people to think that Diddy had been concealing information for a considerable amount of time. In the video that was recently rediscovered, Diddy was seen embracing Justin Bieber. The two of them were seen sharing an embrace, and throughout the video, the 54-year-old rapper was seen tapping the pop sensation. On the internet, people started thinking that Diddy was probably seeking wires after the video that had been brought back to light. Following the video's widespread release on the internet, members of social media platforms, particularly on X, went absolutely crazy. Within the comments section of the video, one of the users on X stated, "Yeah, he was checking for a wire because he was padding his shirt." In other words, Diddy was determining whether or not Justin was an FBI informant. Diddy and Justin have a long history together, dating back to the early stages of Justin's career. It is possible that you have come across a claim that Diddy used to force himself on Justin when he was a child, if you have been following the story concerning Diddy with great attention. It is alleged that Kim Porter, who was Diddy's ex-girlfriend before she passed away, is the source of the story. The allegations state that Kim discovered films while she was living with Diddy Combs. These videos were discovered by Kim, according to the allegations. The allegations state that Kim Porter witnessed footage of Diddy engaging in sexual actions with Justin Bieber. The films in question were allegedly viewed by Kim Porter. People have been going crazy on the internet, attempting to make connections between the video of Diddy reportedly examining Bieber for wires and the tale that Kim allegedly told about him. According to what people are saying on the streets, Diddy was searching Justin Bieber for wires because he had the suspicion that Bieber might have disclosed to the authorities the things that used to take place between him and the CEO of Bad Boy Records when Justin was younger. People have been suggesting that Diddy was acting in this manner because he believed that a large number of people were attempting to seek justice for the inappropriate things that he had allegedly done to them. There were allegations that he considered Justin Bieber to be a danger at that time. Even before Diddy was taken into custody, these reports began to circulate. When Diddy's properties were searched, the first time the rumors began to circulate on social media was when they were initially published. Since the hip-hop mogul was arrested not too long ago, there have been a number of speculations, allegations, and stories that have been going around surrounding him. About his time spent at the notorious Metropolitan Detention Center, one of the stories that are being circulated on the internet is about his time there. How is Diddy doing behind bars? In an article that was published not too long ago, it was described in full how Diddy Combs is spending his time in prison. There is no evidence to suggest that the millionaire is enjoying a lavish lifestyle while incarcerated, as stated in this report. In spite of the deplorable living conditions he is facing, it is additionally asserted that he is being provided with 3 meals on a daily basis. According to the allegation, Diddy is being separated from the other detainees on the prison grounds. When Diddy arrived at the Metropolitan Detention Center after his arraignment, the first meal he ate there was Swedish meatballs for dinner. It should also be mentioned that the founder of Bad Boy Records, who suffered a great deal of embarrassment, was given the opportunity to select either the Swedish meatballs or a black bean burger. It was possible that the black bean burger would have been served with egg noodles, green beans, a garden salad with dressing, and a beverage that was 16 ounces in size. In light of the fact that Diddy is currently being held in isolation, the officers of the Special Housing Unit, SHU, at the Metropolitan Detention Center are the ones who are responsible for delivering meals to his cell. In the confines of the correctional facility, the disgraced rapper is permitted to take 3 showers per week and is given 1 hour of free time each day for recreational activities. The meals might not appear to be all that horrible to some people. In point of fact, he is being provided with 3 meals per day, each of which is providing him with a well-balanced diet. Isolation, the restricted amount of time available for recreation, 1 hour, and the infrequent baths are the only things that could be considered to be unpleasant. Despite the fact that he is isolated, which may prevent him from causing disruptions to the environment for his fellow convicts, It is essential for a human being to take at least one shower every single day. When it comes to someone like Diddy, who is known for his love of huge crowds, the 1 hour that is allotted for amusement is especially severe. Throughout a number of interviews, he has freely confessed that he takes pleasure in attending his costly parties and social gatherings. It's possible that things would have turned out differently for Diddy if he had ceased throwing those parties at the beginning of the 2000s when the authorities were warning him about something. At the beginning of the 21st century, the authorities issued repeated warnings to the creator of Bad Boy Records, telling him that he should refrain from throwing parties. They advised him to stop throwing parties. Additionally, at one point in time, he was being denied permission to have any kind of celebration. The founder of Bad Boy Records, on the other hand, never failed to find a method to demonstrate that he was, in fact, a bad boy. It was said by him that he would move on with throwing the parties. In addition to this, he stated that it would eventually reach a stage where the authorities would be forced to intervene and eliminate his parties. During that time, he did not have any concerns about being arrested. In those days, Diddy was a hard-headed individual because he had everyone in his pocket, even the cops. This was the basis for his strict behavior. Moreover, there were rumors that his photograph was shown in a New York City police station before it was taken down. When Diddy was living the high life, he was well aware that no one could ever get close to him. He was able to pluck cords how he pleased. Additionally, there were suspicions that he was the one who was in charge of Comedy Central management. For the time being, the suspicions that Diddy is responsible for Chappelle's absence are nothing more than rumors on the internet. However, as the investigation into the rapper, who is 54 years old, continues to progress, there will be other reports that will assist in determining whether or not these rumors are real. As of right now, all we can do is wait to see how his case develops and keep an eye out for any new information that may come to light regarding the case.